You know, my family and I, we were watching a documentary on space, galaxies, and planets, and stars, and all these things. And the question came up, God made all of these planets and the universe and galaxies and billions of stars, and why? Why did he make them? What's the purpose for them? Are there people on these other planets? Do people live in these other galaxies? What's God's purpose for making all of these stars? You know, my 5-year-old was asking me this, and I had to pray about it. I just like, Lord, that's a great question. It's one of the oldest questions that mankind has. Humans wondering, why are we here? Where do we come from? Space, is there life on other planets? And what's it all for? And, the Holy Spirit just spoke to my heart and said, remember when you were expecting your babies? Remember when you were expecting them? What was the first thing you did? People go through this nesting process. We try to create the nursery and decorate it, and we hang these mobiles over the crib and put all these things on the walls. We do all these things so our infant baby will have something to look at, something to entertain them, something to stimulate them. And I think that that's what God was doing. I think God, when he was anticipating his plan of salvation and creating mankind and all of that, he hung all of those stars in place in the universe and the galaxies and all of the planets, all of these celestial objects that we can see when we look up into the sky, simply because he wanted to give us something beautiful and wonderful to look at while we're here on this earth. Something to remind us of how amazing he is, of how wondrous he is, and how big he is, but also how much he loves us and how much he cares about us. People ask me sometimes, why do you go through so much trouble making these videos like the last video we just put out, Let All Creation Sing? There's so much animation in that video and so much work went into producing the video and writing the music and recording the music and all the things that we put into for these original videos that we do, when, we could just post a Bible verse. I always joke, I'm going to post a roll of toilet paper and see how many likes it gets. Facebook is a tricky thing. So social media in general is a tricky thing. And, ministry is about sharing the gospel, but it's primarily about worshiping the Lord. It's about an act of worship. So I look at these videos that I create as an act of worship primarily. And secondarily, of course, it's nice if people see them. The likes and the views are nice. It's great affirmation, but that's not why we do them. We don't put this content out for the likes and the views. We don't do it so we can monetize our page. It's not our purpose. It's not our goal. Our goal is to share the gospel. So we're targeting areas of the world that most people aren't targeting, because they're not going to be able to sell advertising in these areas. They're not going to be able to monetize their pages, getting views from the places that we're targeting. We're targeting these areas because we want to share the gospel. We're targeting these areas because we want to spread the good news of the gospel, and we want Jesus to come back. We're waiting for Jesus to come back, and we want him to come back, and anything we can do to help further the process along and to bring as many people into the kingdom as we can when he does come back. But it's an act of worship, and I kind of think of it like when my little boy colors a picture for me. It's the only I'm going to really love that. It's beautiful to me. It's the most beautiful thing in the world when my little boy gives me his little colored picture that he makes, the little stick people. And of course, I never have any hair in the pictures. It's the only thing about it that actually resembles me. But it's beautiful because it's a true act of love from my child to me. And the content that we create, we're hoping accomplishes the same thing. It's an act of worship. It's a true act of love for our Creator. Primarily, that's our first point in doing it. That's our first purpose. And secondarily, we hope that others enjoy it, and we want them to be blessed by it. We want to share the gospel and the good news of salvation through Jesus Christ with people who may not have heard that news yet. And then if we get likes and views, that's okay too. So God bless everyone. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.